For beasts that are synonymous with both ferocity and courage, lions have been subdued by their intended prey a shocking number of times. Although they feed on a wide range of animals, most of the embarrassing role reversals cases on today's lineup involve their preferred prey. That is, medium-sized to large hooved animals like wildebeest, buffaloes, giraffes, and zebras. However, to liven up the video, we've also added a few interesting encounters with reptiles like snakes and lizards. Now that we've got your attention, here are 10 cases of potential kills overcoming these big cats. Number 10. Up and away. Lions, like foxes and bears, are opportunistic feeders. This means that they'll eat whatever's available, including small game like hares, mice, snakes, and, as you can see here, lizards. It also explains why they feed on carrion or sick animals sometimes. But seeing that they're obligate carnivores whose survival depends on consuming about 15 pounds of meat each day, they can't live off of small game alone. That's where the previously mentioned medium-sized to large hooved animals come in. The buffalo, like the one in this clip, is an excellent example. But there's a bit of a problem. That is, while a pride of lions can easily take a buffalo down, it makes a fierce contender for a lone lion. It's, after all, among some of the deadliest animals on the African continent, charged, surprisingly, with killing more people than lions on an average basis. Coming back to the point, the only way for a lion solo attack on a buffalo to succeed is if it manages to clamp down on its neck, which, given the latter's 4-feet horns, it's easier said than done. The way we see it, not many lone lions would risk getting gored for an attack that's more than likely not to fail. Finally, if you were wondering why a buffalo would come to a lizard's rescue, that's not what may have happened here. The buffalo is just trying to save its own skin. Think about it. They normally, much like lions in a pride, have the protection of an entire herd. Without it, they understandably become so easy prey for lions and hyenas alike. This is why lone buffaloes are more alert and dangerous. So yeah, that headbutt wasn't the animal being nice. They're only nice when it comes to looking after their own, but more on that later in the video. Number 9. Mess with the wrong mom. If there's one animal that's fiercely protective of its young, it's an elephant. And as frequent target of lion prides, why wouldn't it be? Yes, you heard that right. When in groups, lions will attack elephants as well, especially single females and their offspring. In situations like these, the vulnerable calf is the group's actual target, which is why they'll try to scare it into scuttling it off from its mother. The way they do this is by approaching the duo from opposite directions, or launching a rear attack. Their intention is basically to induce enough panic to easily latch onto the mother's elephant flanks. This makes these intimidating beasts easier to subdue. Once the mother's down, the calf is, of course, child's play. But again, bringing an elephant down is easier said than done. Let's not forget that they have a bite force of around 2,000 psi. Not just that, their trunks, consisting of around 40,000 muscles, are strong enough to lift about 700 pounds. For reference, only over 600 muscles make up our entire body. Anywho, add their trumpets, which can reach sound levels of 90 decibels in distress, to the equation, and you'll see that lions don't stand a chance. To better understand what we just said, here's a little video of a pack of lionesses trying to take on an elephant mother-calf duo. Notice she scares them away. Even the male lion at the end runs away with his tail between his legs. The calf, who's been trained pretty well by its mama, remains between her legs the entire time. This proves the validity of the fact that mother elephants are excellent teachers, especially in terms of defense. Number 8. Bruce Lee. By now, you're already aware of how zebras are a lion's choice prey, but what you don't know is that a mother zebra, much like a mommy elephant, will go to any length to protect its little ones. As a matter of fact, mares will even protect fowls that aren't their own and have been separated from their mothers. They usually go about this protection business by incapacitating the predator with their powerful kicks. By powerful, we mean about 3,000 pounds of force. And you know what's fascinating about them? They're more powerful than a red kangaroo and giraffe's kicks. Safe to say, zebras are like the African savanna's Bruce Lee. Number 7. Not their first rodeo. So far, we've told you a number of things about lions, except for the way they kill their prey. Well, it's nothing complicated. They either try to break its neck or suffocate it by clenching its neck or muzzle, if it has one. Of course, with their jaws, their goal is to collapse the animal's trachea, which explains why they go for the underside of the throat. Here's a clip to help you understand what an attack might look like. However, what the lion here doesn't know is that the zebras are quite hard to hold onto. This is all thanks to their ducking reflex, a reflex that, fun fact, helped them avoid domestication back in the 18th century. In case this stimulus fails, they also have their powerful legs from before to rely on. They're some of the most well-whipped creatures in the African plains, if you ask us. Number 6. Musas Revenge. Wildebeest, as kids, we all bore a grudge against them. But as we explained before, in the real world, it's Mufasa who kills them, and very frequently at that. However, and yet again, an attack like this can easily fail if the lion's on his own. This is primarily because of the wildebeest horns. Although these normally 18-inch projections are meant for shoving matches and territorial disputes, they also come in handy as a means of defense against the big cats. Thankfully, both males and females can grow them. Simply put, the lion's getting gored irrespective of the wildebeest's gender. Believe it or not, there have been reports of them goring humans as well. Yeah. Number 5. Come at me, bro. A fact that everybody seems to know about lions is that lionesses do 90% of the hunting. But what's not common knowledge is how lionesses are social hunters. This means that they'll work together to bring down their prey. Let us explain this social hunting behavior to you in the simplest of terms. First things first, they need to spot the prey. Once that's done and dusted, they spread out. So to say, one group encircles the prey and the other waits some distance off. Now the first group's mission is to basically chase the quarry towards the second, so that they can ambush it from their cover positions. If you still can't seem to understand, watch this clip. Can you tell the chasers from the ambushers? The ambushers is the one that almost gets trampled. Yep, if you were curious, giraffes can kick in all manners of ways. And get this, their kicks can be pretty lethal. Lethal as in they're known to decapitate their predators. There's a reason why lions go after the calves and not fully grown giraffes. Number 4. A jolly buffalo. If you need any more evidence of how dangerous it is for a single lion to take on a buffalo, watch this video. It shows those mighty buffalo horns in action. Notice how it's trying to lift up the lion on them? Yeah, it sometimes does that to members of its own species as well. Members that weigh 2,000 pounds, give or take. Connect the dots. What's a lion in comparison? At 570 pounds on average, well, zilch, absolutely nothing. Now, if you're thinking that it's going to feast on the lion later, think again. Buffaloes are herbivores, pure. They might gang up on lions, scare them off, and kill them, but they're never going to eat them. If you ever see something like that, consider it a sign of the apocalypse. Number 3. Whatever's lying around. When it comes to predation, hyenas are among lions' biggest competitors. Weirdly enough, at times the two will prey on one another as well. But for hyenas, it's only possible if they're in a large group and somehow manage to isolate the lion from the pride, or if the lion's wounded or sick. Otherwise, even a single lion can easily overpower a bunch of them. Another interesting thing about these two rivals is that while hyenas will steal a kill from the lioness, no questions asked, they wouldn't dare doing it to a male lion. Lionesses are actually their prime targets. I don't think we need to explain why, given the prowess and sizes of male lions. Finally, here's some footage to put all this information into perspective. If it's hard to follow, just think back to the Lion King's conclusion and Scar's death. You'll understand what we're getting at. Number 2. Will hiss you. Remember how we told you that given the chance lions will eat snakes as well? Yeah, here's the evidence. We know that there isn't a snake in sight. However, the beast is showing all the telltale signs of a snake bite. See how it convulses from time to time? That leads us to believe that it might have tried snacking on a snake with neurotoxic venom. In layman's term, and as the word neuro suggests, it's a type of venom that affects the nervous system. Some popular snakes that produce neurotoxins are cobras, rattlesnakes, adders, and vipers. That's about all we can tell you. We really wish we had the power of divination at times like these. Alas. Number 1. Utter chaos. The time to reveal how buffaloes look after their own has finally arrived. We're sorry for making you wait so long, so without wasting any more time, let's explain what's happening here. Plain and simple, buffaloes are animals that derive safety from their herds. Not just that, they're very adept at providing it as well. So to say, in case of an attack, they'll form a circle around the young, old, and weak members of their group. Opposingly, and as we can see in the video, they're just as good at ganging up on predators and chasing them off. This behavior is described as mobbing behavior. As per some sources, they can continue doing this for hours on end. Talk about being bullheaded. Alright, comment down below what you want to see next. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Wildly for more. See you in the next one.